Okay, so it was official. It went down yesterday. A 3-team blockbuster NBA trade. Just what the doctor ordered on this dry NBA week when it comes to NBA news and notes. Concerning Dame Dollar is leaving the Portland Trail Blazers, and he's definitely not going to the Miami Heat. He's going to the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, before we get into today's story, I first like to, there's a lot of egg on a lot of people's face. Big Tone, I do enjoy your content on YouTube. I'm subscribed to you, and I remember when you was doing a live stream, I told you guys, first and foremost, I didn't think it was a good fit for Dame Dollar to go to Miami because I didn't, to me, I just think you need more if Miami was going to be trading for Dame Dollar. And that's just my opinion. But the initial trade proposal, it was garbino. It was garbage juice, all right? So I know Dan Le Batard and all the journalists over there in Miami saying, well, Portland had to take it or leave it, okay? Either you take the deal that's in front of you or Dame Dollar is allegedly going to sit out. Did you hear what the agent said, even though the NBA fined the agent? Did you hear what Dame Dollar said if he doesn't go to Miami, even though he was fined, all right? Look, I'm all for player empowerment, but this has been blown way out of proportion. And I feel like it's DOA for player empowerment. You just can't just dictate where you want to go. A lot of these owners, a lot of these groups, a lot of these corporations, particularly in the NBA, they're saying, look, we're not going to take it anymore. You're not going to just tell us where you want to go and we just take scraps for you. All right. Particularly with the Dame Dollar thing. It was just a bunch of scraps that no one was interested in. No one wanted. You know, even though Dan Le Batard and a lot of journalists out there said, oh, no, you're just going to have to take it. Either take it or leave it. All right. I said if y'all was real serious of getting Dame Dollar, you needed to get another team involved. And you're going to have to up the ante. All right. But since the Miami Heat organization didn't want to do that, and now Big Tone and Dan Le Batard is saying, oh, well, we believe in Pat Riley anyway. Who needs Dame Dollar? Okay, yesterday's price ain't today's price. And last week you guys were interested in Dame Dollar. Now you're not interested in Dame Dollar. Now y'all believe in the Dawn all of a sudden. Okay, well, whatever makes you sleep better at night. All right, but let's just talk about the trade itself. It was a 3-team deal. It was the Portland Trail Blazers, the Phoenix Suns, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Phoenix Suns got rid of some players that they didn't really want it, and we'll just talk about that at a later time, at a later date. But let's just talk about the two main components, which is the Portland Trail Blazers and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks are going to get Dame Dollar. Now, I've heard a lot of people, Kendrick Perkins has echoed this sentiment. Stephen A. Smith is pretty much co-signing this, that this could be the next version of Kobe and Shaq. I'm not too sure about that. Because when you look at Kobe and Shaq, Shaq was the most dominant player in a time span where he was just unstoppable. And then you had Kobe being Bryant, who was eerie similar to Michael Jordan. Not the perfect replica of Michael Jordan, but he was almost damn close, okay? And you guys are now labeling the Greek Freak and Dame Dollar as the next version of Kobe and Shaq. I think y'all need to pump the brakes a little bit on that. Even though the Freak, he won his title with the Milwaukee Bucks. Dame Dollar has made some splashes here and there. I just don't, necessarily believe that they're the next big thing. I mean, they're the next Kobe and Shaq. But I do like the dynamic, a big and a small. I think that's going to go well for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think it's a two-team town in the East. It's the Boston Celtics, particularly with the moves the Boston Celtics have done. They got the unicorn over there, and now you got the Milwaukee Bucks with Dame Dollar and the Greek Freak. I mean, that is Giannis. You got. It's a two-team town, particularly in the East, and then everyone else is along for the ride. If let's just say hypothetically, Boston and Portland struggles with health concerns. All right, they don't have their major stars for the majority of the season. Then you can possibly slip in a Miami Heat. You can possibly slip in the New York Knicks, but it's Boston and it's Milwaukee and the Celtics and the field. And I'm choosing the Bucks and the Celtics over the field. I mean, they're going to dominate the East for the next 3 to 4 years. And who's to say Boston reign will be longer, because when you look at that tandem over there, they're a lot younger than Dame and Giannis. But I like the matchup, a small guy and a big guy. Perfect, okay? So another thing if you look at what Portland got, well, they got Holiday, and there's a huge market for Holiday. I think it's a bigger market for teams willing to, push the lever on Holiday, particularly for a competitive team that's just a piece away, or a couple of pieces away, or just need a solid player, and they don't mind giving up some, if not all, of their future. Of course, that's great for Portland. I don't think Holiday is going to be with the Portland Trail Blazers much longer. He's going to be traded to another team, and Portland in return is going to get some draft picks, and that's all they really want for Holiday. And when you look at these competitive teams, such as the Golden State Warriors, what if the Golden State Warriors are in the running for Holiday? Okay, the Los Angeles Lakers, the Dallas Mavericks, possibly, because Holiday could do a lot, okay, particularly on the perimeter. Plus, he's a defensive player, which, by the way, Boston, as well as Milwaukee, traded away two of their best defensive players, okay? If that doesn't tell you how the NBA is now pretty much, it's an offensive era, I don't know what will, all right? So, and it also goes to show you a lot of these teams don't really appreciate defenders, all right? Particularly if you look at the Dallas Mavericks, they don't have no defenders on that team. They can score a lot, but they're not going to be able to stop a lot of teams, all right? And when you look at teams such as the Dallas Mavericks, if you look at teams such as maybe the Golden State Warriors, maybe the Los Angeles Lakers, maybe the Clippers. If you look at those, as well as teams out east that need a defender, as well as someone who's pretty good on the perimeter, a Holiday is your man. So Portland is going to utilize Holiday into a trade package to get more draft picks, because they're in the lottery. They're in the lottery for the next 2 to 3 years. They got a young core, and they're building on that young core. This is a new era for the Portland Trail Blazers, because they are rebuilding. They see what Sam Presti did with Oklahoma City Thunder. Now the Oklahoma City Thunder got, they're chock full with young talent, okay? So if you look at what the Oklahoma City Thunder has done and what other recent teams have done, it seems like Portland is pretty much going in that direction. Now, back to the Milwaukee Bucks. Is it enough for them to represent the East, and they may play, the defending champions of the NBA last season? Possibly, okay. But I still feel like it's I still feel like it's Milwaukee, Boston. That's pretty much it. Unless there's some unseen circumstance where, they got it, Dame or Giannis or a Tatum or Brown. If any of those guys are injured for a long period of time in the regular season, and they're here and there in the postseason, then we can look at the field. We can look at the New York Knicks. Okay, we can possibly look at the Chicago Bulls. Okay, if everything is status quo with the Chicago Bulls, by the way, we can look at the Miami Heat. Okay, but I think when you look at Boston and Milwaukee, they're light years better. They're light years better than those teams I just mentioned, particularly the Miami Heat. Now, the Miami Heat, they probably going to have to just deal with what they have. They just simply don't have any interesting pieces for teams willing to make trades on. And a lot of teams in the NBA wasn't really helping them to get Dame dollars. So what that tells you, okay? So the Miami Heat is going to have to deal with whatever they have on their roster. Now all of a sudden everyone and Dan Levitar and Big Tone over there. Shout out to Big Tone, Big Tone Sports Talk, which is the #1 sports show for the Miami Heat. But guys, look, it is what it is. If you guys were, if Miami was that serious, they should have pulled the trigger and gotten your boy, all right? But they didn't, okay? They couldn't find a team that could help them, like the Portland Trailblazers found the team with the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns gave away some players. They gave away one player that I didn't think they was going to give up on. Now he's no longer on that organization. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But, it is what it is. But, guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Deuces.